Hi everybody, it's Jules by Jude here, and what I'm going to do today is show you some of the items that I have to use to make my creations. So as you can see here, excuse me, this is some of my clay collection. Okay, it's not as organized as you might think. I have plenty of clay. I try to keep it that way. I get my 60% off, my 50% off of Michael's and Joann's, and I look for other people who have once upon a time used polymer clay and no longer use it. So this is what I use to start with everything. This is my larger bricks, and these are my smaller colors. And look at this. This is my excuse me, my scrap collection. Now here I have separate blends that I can use to make blends. Where, like for instance, this one here. This is hard videotaping and showing you all at the same time, but I'm gonna give it a shot. I can use this and make a new blend, a new color. It's a better way. And some of these in this one are just solid ones that I have started and not used, and yet not have mixed the colors together, so I can still use it as a regular color per se. Some of these are new blends. Okay, I had scraps and I made them into blends and or different colors, and some of them are solid too. But wow, this is not trash. Okay, this is my scrap pile that I use to make all sorts of items, maybe the back of my pendants, maybe some beads, and I do a veneer finish, and you've heard that word. And I use the canes to make some of my veneer pieces that go over top of my beads, and I'm going to show you that in a minute too. Earlier this month we did the foils, and this is what some of the foils. This is Martha Stewart. You can get this at Michael's. This is all gold sheets. And with your discount, I think it was $12.99, and then with your discount you could, you know, half it or better. Okay? If you just wanted to give it a shot, you can also shop around. These were some of the wild colors I used, and I just showed you some photos of some things that we did this past month with on the videos previous to this one. This happened to be some clay. It must have got in there. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Here's some sequins. Here is a mold that I haven't used yet, because I do kind of cut my own flowers out, but I'm anxious to see this. And also, this is not just a mold. You can go ahead, put your clay in there, and bake it in there, and it'll pop right out. So, I was thrilled when I found that out, actually. And this one I can't wait to start to use, but I'm so busy with the holidays I haven't had a chance to use it, and that's the faces. Isn't that cool? Same thing. Bake it, pop it out. Then you can decorate it. Or you know, after you pop it out, maybe you might want to pop it out before you bake it and then add something to it, like some other things I'm going to show you. Here are some of my impressions, stamps for giving texture. Here is I'm going to see if you can see this, template, cabochon. You know, you can trace that on there, push it down into the clay. There's all sorts of things. Now I also use that to make cabochons. I can't wait to use that to make cabochons out of my stones. I have plenty of stones. Here's another mold that you can use. Okay. And you can find these texture plates just about anywhere. I don't know if I can show you the texture. There we go. That might be better. You see that texture on there? You push that down onto your clay and put that on the back or the front of your piece. So that's about it for this little section here. You got your clay, your sequins, your foil. We talked about foil. We're going to talk about that again at another time. Before you can also use water to squirt down anywhere, anytime, to keep your clay from sticking to molds, to your surface, however, whatever you're working with there. Okay, and here is, well, God sent sometimes to me, and this is my glue-on bales. And these happen to be the little hearts. Okay, and I use, okay, what do you use? Everybody uses E6000. I don't. I use Gorilla Glue right now. Seems to work fine for me, guys. So I use it. Until it doesn't, I'm going to continue to use it. We also have Glaze. There's been a lot of reports on different types of glaze. I use the Glaze, and I want to try to use the, where is that? Clay, bakeable clay is supposed to be good for some glossing. I'm going to check that technique out and share that with you hopefully this week. Glossy accents. Hope you can see some of these. These are just some of the things that I've either, here's tacky glue. It's clear though. So my trusty pasta machine. We've talked about the pasta machine. To me, it's priceless when it comes to polymer clay. Okay? And it's all about the conditioning. Here's a couple books. You know, I'm not promoting these books, but I am promoting them. That look through your books, find some books, get some books as cheap as you can. Okay, ideas. That's what the name of the game is. Use it for ideas. Sorry about that noise. Now move over here are my tissue blades. I think they call them that. I call them razor blades. So I'll make up my own name for stuff, but that's what these are, tissue blades. And here, this is how you can drill a hole by hand. Let me see if I can hold that up. You can see that a little bit better. You see that? It's non-motorized. It's all by hand. Here is my trusty roller that always comes in handy. I have a couple of those. Can't seem to find it when I want it. This is an interesting tool as well. See if you guys can see this. I pick up my sequence with these and it sticks to this here, and you push it into your clay or maybe some other kind of craft that you're using it for, and this end is for putting pressure into it. And it works really good, but you can make your own too. Once made the whole class one actually out of beeswax. So you know, there's a lot of ways you can do stuff. These are tools that I have acquired. Some of them I use often, some I don't. Some I haven't even used yet, as you can see over here, but I'm sure I'll get there. These are very good tools here. These are very good. They come in handy a lot. Okay, and this, I think you've seen the foil. Hopefully you saw the foil tutorial earlier this week. This is really what I would use, and I'm going to try that out too. I did just get those. And this is your, I call it like a cookie cutter. Piece of clay fell off. Cookie press. That's what it reminds me of. But it's a press. It's a polymer clay press, and you put your clay in the canister there. Your clay. Put your clay in there, and you press it through, and it gives you the desired texture. Okay. Now here we have cutters, and this is just a small selection because if I put them all out it would take the whole table up. So these are your cutters. Okay, and you can buy different ones. You can have ones that punch. I want to get those too. This is cool. How do you make the same size beads all the time? Well, here's your answer. This is a little measuring cup. You put this into your clay into this, and you swoosh it off, you know, with a blade or whatever it might be. You put it between this contraption here. And I don't have two hands, but you use two hands to shift that up and down, and you can see how I can do it with one. And believe it or not, this is a 16 mil, and every one you put in here will be 16 mil. So your sizes will be the same, and it comes in 3 different sizes. And then this is what you might cook your bead on. Bake your bead. You stick it through. If you can see that. Looks a little blurry. I hope it's not blurry on you guys' side. And it works better when you use 2 hands. Just want to let you know that. But and there's my wipes. They are good. Keep everything clean. Wipe it on and off. And let's see if my ruler, my trusty ruler. I showed you some of the things that we produced this month in the for the previous videos, excuse me. Now here's some interesting things to make some cool texture. You push that down, you can drag it across, stuff like that. You got some rollers. Here you go, here's a pie for your crust for your pie. Use that. Not to make a pie, of course, but unless you want to make a pie out of polymer clay. Here's some more impression applicators. Okay, so I got a couple of those. And we have over here the cutters. And before I end the video, I want to show you a few things, because I don't want these videos to be way too long, and my editor is asleep again, day after Christmas. Okay, here you go, mica powder. Oh, this is so nice to add color to. Really very pretty. You can get these pretty cheap too, you know, with your percentage off and everything. Sometimes they sell the kit, 3 of them. Keep your eyes out. I told you what to do. This is acrylic paint. Pick them up at yard sales, stuff like that. Okay. Also, I have alcohol inks. Who does not? That is in crafts, right? All right. Here's your alcohol inks, and you can play with them too. Have some videos with that. They can color your clay. I think a few ladies use that actually as the color, and there's some metallic ones, as you can hear. So, look. This is just a big shot of everything that polymer clay has to use and offer, and there's a lot more out there. So I just wanted to give you an overview, because I think we skipped that in the very beginning of my tutorial, in the previous tutorial videos. So just take a gander. I know it looks like a lot, but to be honest with you, it's very little on this table that I paid full price for. And that's saying something. And I think you guys, I don't think it's that hard to do. I really don't. As I said before, if you're thinking about it, you're looking for it. And that's the key. So I just want to say, I hope everyone had a Merry Christmas, and I hope everyone has a Happy New Year, and God bless everyone. Goodbye.